Boom. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to PreMarket Prep at the close. Spencer Israel. I got Joel Elconin with me. Guys, I'm just tired. I am really tired. I'm finding it's draining me to keep up with things here. And I know that my problems are dwarfed by the problems of the people overseas in Ukraine and around the world. But I mean, isn't it just tiring? Like, I can't be the only person that's just getting just burnt out by, just whiplash. That's what I call today's show, whiplash. That's what the market is doing right now. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. It's very difficult to keep track of. So we'll run through some charts. We'll talk about some stocks that are making big moves today. We'll talk about some stocks that could make big moves tomorrow. And we'll answer questions from the chat. So this is at the close. Smash that like. Here we go. All right, it is time for PreMarket Prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel, it can't be just me, right?
Just watching these markets is exhausting. This could be, I would say, the most volatile day since 2020. If you cup up the intraday ranges, just from overnight, from the high to the low, and then back down this morning, back up to the high, back down to the 4180 area, back up to 4240, and now we're, when we started prepping, we were in the green by 10 handles. He said, well, we're going to finish green, and nope.
It's silly to me. Silly to me.
Yeah. I would just say that besides a war, like if there wasn't this tension with Russia, what's going on, it is rollover of the futures contracts, and that does create some excess volatility in the market. So I can, I'll give a little bit to that, but more to that. This is just a very unstable and market environment, and it's being reflected in the volatility. We gotta calm down first, and today is definitely not a sign of things calming down. We're down 15 handles at let's see, 4183.5. Well, we're down 13 handles. Crude, if you're a technician and you're thinking about a double top, well, you got pretty darn close. It's a dangerous thing to think in the crude market. The high yesterday was 130.50. It got to 129.44, and you backed off 480. You're still up 480 here at 124.24. Gold, volatile, but staying up $60.60 at 2056.70. Silver, that's having a real good day too. That did get over 27 into the 27 handle. Now up 1.26 cents at 26.98. Bitcoin pulls back just a tad from its high, but that's still up $985 at 1,020 at 38,560. And Ethereum futures, they're in the green too by $98 at 25.56.
And if all that wasn't enough, you had one of those old classic, broad-based internet outages today, Joel.
Yes.
Amazon Web Services, Discord, Spotify, Twitter, Coinbase, a number of platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Google, a number of platforms reporting outages. I think they seem to be all fixed now. But you had all afternoon. You had some internet outages, so that's always.
And who are they blaming on? Anybody in particular?
No, I thought that was a rhetorical question. No. I don't know.
Look at Fastly, $15. Holy
mackerel. That's always the first one that I check too. Fastly.
Yeah.
Although there was that one time there, if you look at AKAM Akamai, there was that one time where. And they're having a tough day today, but then again, so is everything. I mean, we should probably just go and just back to the SPY. It's like remarkable stuff. I was watching Biden's press conference and watching the SPY against it, and I as soon as he stopped talking, the market ripped higher. It's literally from the moment he stopped to I don't know for how long afterwards? For like an hour? Like when was the high of the day? It was at 1 o'clock. So it was like an hour after you stopped talking. We just ripped higher for no apparent reason. Everything turned. Although you know what is comforting, and I mentioned this on Benzinga Live today. Um, things were a little bit simpler. It was a simpler time, Joel, when we could look at the market and say, "Oh, today's a reopening day or today's a stay-at-home day." But those days are over. But now what we can do and say, "Oh, today's a buy oil day or today's a buy everything else day." Now, today specifically was kind of a both. It was both of those days because at certain points it was buy oil, and then at other points it was buy everything else. But the two seem to be inversely correlated, which is nice. It gives you something to go off of.
I mean, I'm just looking at these oil stocks, and boy, just CVX, that's just blowing everyone away. Look at
Yeah.
that. I looked at by far the best performer there. But it's always been the best in breed, new all-time high there, and CVX by a wide margin. Good old Warren. Warren picked that one. I guess the market is not. I guess this market's not buying this ceasefire, huh? Russia says it's going to
No.
cease fire. What's that for some evacuations? I guess market's not liking that. We selling off here. Now we're only well, we're still 40 points off the low of the session, 25 points off the intraday low.
And then the other big thing that I thought was very notable today was Putin coming out and officially restricting all imports and exports of raw materials into and out of Russia until at least the end of this year. So
What a random thing. What a random thing.
whatever commodity pressures we're seeing, frankly, are not likely to abate anytime soon. Wheat went limit down today, Joel. Don't know if you saw that. It went
Yeah.
limit up yesterday, limit down today. I mean, good luck with that. You can try the WEAT ETF, but they're not there. They've halted creation, so it's not even going to track. It doesn't have to track the price of wheat anymore. Just crazy stuff out there. Just totally. And what I said to Joel when we first hopped on before we went live was, wherever we close today, whether it's up, down, or flat, is not going to tell the story of the day. To me, the story of the day is just how it's just a whipsaw action, right? That's the story of the day to me. It's just a reversal, reversal, reversal.
Yeah, and it's so that I mean, to me, that this is no sign of things calming down.
I guess
I
not.
mean, we gotta calm down
I guess not.
before we move on. But we can talk about Dick's Sporting Goods because
Sure. Yeah.
yeah,
How do they do today? Because the report was okay, but the guidance was
that
light,
guy was just
wasn't it?
like,
Guidance was very light. And
yeah.
again, what are they? It's retail, and we talked about that this morning. Retail has been getting hit pretty hard here. Um, Dick's though has, I mean, if you look at the chart, it actually has held up. Well, and I say that relatively well compared to, so it's well off the all-time highs from last summer, but I mean, it's only down 33% since then. That's not even that bad in the grand scheme of things compared to some of their peers.
Not a bad day. I guess I could have stuck with the inside day, at least at this point, because we're a penny. We made a low 99.20, yesterday's low 99.19, and got a little bit of a pop. So see if you can maintain that in the last 21 minutes of the session. I can win a virtual lunch in the metaverse with Dennis. How did some of our other retailers do today? Because they got
Oh, wait
shellacked.
a minute. Wait. So on the lunch bet it was for today, right? Just for today.
Just for today.
All right. So
Yes.
and the bogey was yesterday's. So the bet
It
was
had to close above. I was a
yes,
little nervous about it being an inside day,
yeah,
but I thought it would close above the previous day's low.
yeah.
So
Yesterday's low, which was 99.23, right? So it had to close above that, which I'm not going to say anything, Joel, because
no, I know, I know, I
20 minutes
know.
left in the day. I'm not. My lips are sealed. I won't say anything.
No,
Uh,
see if
I
I
also
can get a lunch bet out of this.
I also want to look at Apple here. Their event kind of came and went. Nothing too crazy that came out of it. It basically moved with the market today, so there's nothing special.
Hmm.
There was no trade there really. It just moved with the SPY. But
Still holding up, better, than some of these other stocks. Got all near that $1 trillion cap or whatever, right? Or 2 trillion or 3 trillion. I lose track of the trillions on that. But little bit of a trading range here. Now, I mean, it hasn't broken down, so Apple's still looking okay. You also didn't get near last Thursday's low, so market on a relative basis, it's holding up pretty well. I saw I got a few pops. That must have been around the when they were doing the event, but market forces took over on that, and not seeing any good numbers for you folks. I wish I had one for you in Apple, but nothing's jumping out to me.
What else? There are a few a few more things on my list, and then we'll go to the chat. Oh yeah, did you see solar today? Joel, solar is also in that group. It's commodities, it's defense stocks, and then it's to a somewhat lesser extent it's solar. But today, ENPH is beasting, Solar Edge is beasting. The 10 ETF is up almost 10% today. It's a great day for solar. I thought that this was related to Biden's thing, but I could be wrong because he didn't say anything that was new. He just reiterated the same exact thing he said in the State of the Union. So maybe it wasn't related to him at all, but it did seem like, I mean, the high of the day in tan at least occurred at noon, which is while he was talking. So maybe it wasn't.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know honestly. I just know that Solar's having a good day, and you do have to put it in the group, the very small group that is outperforming for the year.
Well, I mean, you're looking for alternative forms of energy, right? And that falls into the solar category. Take a little bit longer. I mean, we're not going to be able to implement it overnight, but just running with the momentum from
Yeah.
the yep. And it had a good day yesterday too. I'm looking at the TAN ETF. On the dailies, it looks like
This
a
is
big move,
interesting.
but on the monthlies, it's
No,
looks like
this is interesting because, like, for anyone out there that's like, oh, it's too late. I missed the boat on energy. I missed the boat on Lockheed Martin. I missed the boat on the commodities. Well, this one hasn't moved as much. If that's the
uh,
thing, it really hasn't.
no, I mean, not when I mean, it hasn't even gotten anywhere near back to half that move from early January 21. If you're looking for more on the upside here in tan, you do have a good level because you have the high for the year at 78.86. That was made in January, a much lower high in February. You got the 77.23 today. So on the monthlies, you get a bogey, you get above that January high. Things open up to the upside, get half back of that big move from what you could basically call it, 120 and changed, the high 50s. Maybe that would take you back 90. Might not be a bad target here, but first things first, let's take out and hold the previous month's high.
All right, let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat here. Um, any names that are of interest? Oh yeah, you hear about Russell Wilson? That's pretty crazy. Got traded today.
And yeah, they get a big haul for him, or
Yeah, a bunch of draft picks. Thoughts on a Crowdstrike for Patrick Starr?
Now someone asked me about that in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
was that this morning
I
or
think
was
so.
that
Yeah, it
yeah.
could have been yesterday or today. One of those days.
Man, when you see yeah, I don't know if it was Patrick I talked about this. I mean, look at the pattern from the last, 4 days, 3 days, and you didn't have long to figure it out. That pattern was going to be for the fourth day here. Exiting this, had the nice rally over 200. Now exiting it, not much to lean on here. If you're waiting to get long, you got two areas. What was this low here in the 150 handle, 153.50. And then your must hold is 150.02 for Crowdstrike. So easy come, easy go.
Yeah. Here is the earnings calendar for tonight/tomorrow. MongoDB, Bumble tonight, Stitch Fix tonight. That's kind of it that interests me. I guess Casey's General Store is mildly interesting. Tomorrow morning, Adidas, Express, Campbell's Soup, which is getting killed today, Joel. I don't know if you saw CPB. I mean, the whole sector is down. The whole staples sector is down, but Campbell's is down.
High
Like
ingredients cost, street
huge.
leading.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at that.
yeah.
No,
That's a good thought. That's probably it.
yeah, it had kind of broke out here. I haven't had this up obviously in a long time on the monthlies. You just got to be aware, even on a good report here, there's a lot of people stuck in this thing, even from today's session. So, on the downside, if it continues lower in the pre market, just be aware back in mid to late December. He had three lows under 42 bucks. Current low today, 40, what's that? 42.38. So that's what you're looking at in Campbell's Soup.
Yeah, I think part of me is afraid that if we thought inflation has been bad so far, what happens when the cost of every single raw material goes through the roof? And any food stock, any company that relies on any commodity, which is most of them, frankly. So, oh man, I don't want to think about that. So, yeah, that was kind of it as far as the calendar. There's not too much in the way of today and tomorrow. So, I'll be watching Campbell's too tomorrow morning. What else is in the chat? You guys are talking about CYRN, this crazy stock. It's crazy. It's making a crazy move today. It's got a float of 3.5 million shares. So it's a cybersecurity name plus a low floater. Can do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's a micro cap. They have no earnings. Do they even have revenue? That's a fair question to ask. Let's see. Do they have revenue? Yes, they have revenue. Very, very small. Irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. Its stock is moving off of market action and nothing else. Tread carefully. Set your stops. I don't know what else to tell you here, but they do report. No, who cares about earnings? It's been halted like 4 times today. So
Tough trade. Boom,
careful.
boom, boom. What was I looking at in this one here?
Oh, I just saw a headline that Coke suspended their sales in Russia. Everyone's getting out of Russia now. Even Coke.
What about Pepsi?
I don't know. I
Uh,
don't know about McDonald's did earlier too.
yeah, McDonald's, Starbucks. I think they expected all of that though, right? I mean, I don't think
It, it it does beg the question: did they? I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting predicament to find oneself in, no doubt.
All right, we're now slipping into the 41.70 handle, going red now by by a decent margin. Still 12 minutes to go. Maybe you got some sell imbalances circulating in the market, but uh, just weakness here. This is gonna be our lowest close. Well, shouldn't say that yet. Our low close for the move has been 41.9850. Currently trading at 41.83. So gonna need another rally to avoid that new closing low for the move.
I just had something I wanted to say, and I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was a comment from the chat. Okay, Octong Clan, what is a good level to buy some Google at before the stock split? So as a reminder, the stock split is going into effect. Is in May? Let's check here. It's no, it's not even close. It's July. It's the actual split date is July 15th. The record date, the date you have to actually own the stock to get the split, is July 1st. So, using July 1st as a bogey, as sort of your deadline here, going out 4 months into the future. What's a good level here for Google?
Well, right now 2,500 is where the Bulls have made a stand. They made a stand there in January. They made a stand there in February for 24.9284 and 95.29. Haven't quite gotten there yet. Your current low for the month is 25.17. So 2,500 right now looks like your major support. You're still $55 away from that. Well, Google hasn't shut them down, or have they? Have they?
They're on the list. There's I think the only sector really that hasn't done it yet is hospitality. I think a lot of the hotels are still operating, but I think everybody else has, for the most part, either exited or frozen their service or shut down
Mhm.
their locations or operations or anything like that. It's pretty remarkable to observe, in real time, the broad based cancellation of all Western services and products in them.
Yeah, I mean, those restaurants are going to be upset if they can't get their $5 cup of coffee, right? It must cost like 987 rubles by now. But
Sure.
no, I mean, that is going to have, tailwinds on next quarter's earnings. I mean, you're going to have to I mean, if you're not
Yeah,
going to, yeah.
yeah. That's a good point. So, for example, Coke just said, I just saw that Coke said that Russia and Ukraine contributed 1 to 2% of operating revenue last year. So take away 1 to 2%. Let's just conjecture and say this conflict goes through the rest of the year. So take away 1 to 2% of your operating revenue. The market will quickly adjust to that. Plus, this is only one factor to weigh. You have to also weigh the interest rate policy. You have to weigh overall inflation. So I can't imagine, like, all these headlines about companies getting out of Russia, unless it's an oil company, frankly, or a company that has like a lot of exposure to Russia, like some of these or Europe's, like some of these retailers like PVH. I think a lot of these headlines, while noteworthy, are not necessarily tradable events because the market will quickly adjust. And I mean, 1 to 2% of your operating revenue is not that big a deal. So anyway, 3:52. We got 8 minutes left in the session.
We're trying to avoid that low close for the move, wallowing in a 3170 handle. Now back up at 4193, 4194, 9850. That was your close from yesterday. Low close of the move. That's what we're trying to avoid today. Wouldn't that be something to end up unchanged today after up and down
It
and all
would
around?
it would be appropriate, I think. It would be very appropriate.
Uh,
And Hassan asked about or dropped RSX in there. Hassan, RSX will probably my guess. This is just a guess. I'm going to guess RSX never opens again. That's my guess. It
that
is
could be.
never. It is never going to open. That's
Thinking of Hassan, that made me think of Hassan Haskins and the draft. Did you see the 40 that the guy from Georgia ran?
yeah. It was
Jordan
fast. It was,
Davis?
it was very fast.
371 pounds, and he did a 4.7840.
Yeah,
That is
that's
moving.
fast. That's
Whew.
fast.
Wow. All right. We got near unchanged, and the Bears didn't like that. Boom, back down 41-82. 7 minutes left here I'm gonna call it the wildest day of the year. I don't think there's really any other way you can crack it up. RSX hasn't traded for a couple days. Who knows when
It's
that's gonna
never.
trade
I
again?
don't think it'll ever trade again. Honestly, I really don't. Um, What else is on my list here? Wow, we're actually leaking here into the close on. I just put up Shopify and just saw that. Maybe we made a new low of the day just now in Shopify. I'm going across, but okay, it's not just. It seems to be.
A new low for the day, huh? No, that's new low for them. Wow, look at that.
Well, yeah, okay, fine. All right, new low for the year, 52 weeks. What? Yeah,
How's old Sam Adams doing? No, that's not doing very good. People not drinking beer over there. Okay, what else do we got here? Boom, boom. We got about 5 minutes to the close, and
Tesla's having a really good day. I mean, it's EVs, it's solar, so Tesla's having a good day. The chips are having a pretty good day overall, like Nvidia. Yeah, AMD looking nice. That's having a good day. The banks, Joel. Did you see the banks? We didn't talk about the banks. Look at Wells Fargo. It's up like 3%. No, it's not.
I think
One and a
someone
half.
did an analyst rating on Bank of America that we might
Oh,
have missed.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, but
I thought I saw it.
analysts.
I mean, it's a bounce, but man, not much of a bounce. Whew, I mean, now you're headed back towards the low of the sessions. S&Ps, they lose 20 points just like that at 41.75. Heading into the final stanza, final 5 minutes here. Where will we end up?
Garmin, why do I think RSX will never open? Because it owns Russian stocks, and the Russian stock market is closed. And even if the Russian stock market opens, I I think it's likely that the firm, the Van Eck is the firm behind this fund. They may just shut the fund down and liquidate because there's no point if the Russian stock market is going to open and go to zero. What's the point? So that's why I kind of think that RSX might never open again. As we stand here, 3.5 minutes away from the closing bell, every sector. I feel like I'm repeating myself every day. Every sector in the red except for energy, which is up, and XLY, your discretionary, which is basically just Amazon and Tesla. And that's in the green today too, but everything else is in the red. But again, that doesn't tell the whole story because it really has just been as Joel said, a wild day out there. What else are y'all watching in the? Oh, Pepsi just announced that too. There we go. Pepsi followed Coke. That was quick. Yeah. First Coke, now Pepsi.
They're going to come out. I mean, when are they going to come out and start trimming GDP on this?
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like you're seeing a lot of the like economic projections for Europe or for emerging markets this year have you got to crumple those up and throw them in the trash because this is a game changer. This whole war is throwing every prediction for the year for European GDP out the window. So it's causing a broad-based reassessment of what is possible this year, and not in a good way. So yeah, it's tough out there. There's a lot of reasons to be fearful, a lot of reasons to be uncertain, and that's okay. That's okay, frankly, because
Yeah, I think you got to continue to, use these rallies, intraday rallies that you had today or overnight rallies. Continue to lighten up. I mean, it'd be more of just selling on these rallies and then, buying less on the dips. Not new, going to have a new low close from the move here unless we have a minor miracle here. You got to think that 41.0175, that's been the low of the move. That
man,
looks like could be tested overnight or tomorrow. We've had some big ranges overnight.
I'm trying to find one stock that is at or near a 52-week high that is not energy or commodities, and I think I got or utilities, and I think I got one. I think Nuance, Nuan, is always, unless that's getting bought. Is that getting bought?
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
that's getting bought. That's irrelevant. Damn it! I thought
you
I
see
had
it
one.
in there.
It's getting bought.
I didn't even
All
see it
right.
in there. Didn't even call my charts. Abby talked about that with Emily this morning. That's pretty close to all-time highs. That 148 was the level we talked about on that, and took that out, that 148. So maybe a little more downside in Abby, but there's a stock down close to all-time highs.
What is this GATX? It's a it's a rail company. Transports.
Mm,
Transports are low key doing okay too, Joel. We haven't talked about that recently.
wow.
But I mean, I don't know if you saw CP, Canadian Pacific, um, has had a very interesting few days. And what's the other one? Uh,
Norfolk Southern,
yeah, but what's the other Canadian railways? Was
Burlington,
uh, hold on, CP, and then the other one. That's why we have Pro here. So go to the
Canadian Pacific, Norfolk Southern, and
it's an NSC, right? How's NSC doing?
and
Oh, CSX is what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
there
that's
you
the one.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and UNP. Um, they had a big run there too. Wow. Anyway,
came in back today.
holy cow! Closing bell. Thank goodness. Final tally. We did close down in the major indexes. Although the Russell closed green, we did close down in every sector except for energy and consumer discretionary. And We made it. So everyone pencils down. That's a wrap. I can only hope that things calm down from here. Who the heck knows at this point?
We'll see. We'll
We'll
close
see.
it. Close near the intraday low, and but off that Globex low, overnight low the move. Keep an eye on that. If we see it, 4101.75. So
All right.
everyone, have a good night.
Have a great night, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow. Cannabis Insider going live right now. Send you over there. Smash that like. See you tomorrow.